Okay, this is a very cool spot. This is Pennsylvania. And as you come across, this is Maryland over here. And then over here is West Virginia. So 3 states from this one summit. Cool start to the morning. Okay, so I'm just 2 miles into the day. Figured I would just show what the beginning of this section of the trail looks like. Got some rocky outcrops here to the left. Got the Potomac to the right. This is an area with rapids. I'm hearing a lot of noise on the right, rapids, and really pretty. Slept great last night. I actually asked the woman, where'd you get these pillows? And she said it was the owner of the B&B. And she said, Kohl's. I was like, okay. I thought it was gonna be some fancy hotel supplier or something like that. When I get home, I'm gonna go to Kohl's because that was the best night of sleep I got in some time. Okay, so those 2 guys way up there, they just passed me. They're with the group that I had breakfast with. They were gonna ride this trail adjacent to here. And I'll tell you this, like, there's a rail trail that runs parallel to this trail and it's paved. I think it's called the Maryland Western Rail Trail or something like that. You could look it up. I think it's 20 miles. So if you don't want to be on this towpath and this bumpier surface, this gravel, you could get away with 20 miles riding on that. Those guys told me they were going to do that, but one guy was trying to talk the other into riding this. It looks like that guy won because they're on this. I joked with them I was going to take one for the team and ride the gravel, but they got out here and did it, so props to them. I think if you set out to ride the C&O Towpath, you should ride the C&O Towpath. You know, I guess that's the purest in me. Either way is legit. Oh, it's actually right up there. You can see the fence. So yeah, it runs literally parallel to this. So yeah, if you're feeling tired, if the trail's muddy, you could jump on that rail trail up there. I found this interesting fruit or nut. I'm not sure what this is. Never seen this before. Anyone know? If not, maybe I'll use an app later to identify it. I don't think it's a pawpaw, which is a tree in this area, but I don't think it's that. So I'm not sure what this is. Back there, the C&O trail actually closed. They're doing some kind of repairs. So I had to jump onto this Western Maryland Rail Trail, whatever it's called. Again, I missed the name. Not that important. It's some rail trail in Maryland. And well, now I get to ride some of this trail and see what this is about. Pavement is definitely nice, definitely smooth. I'm making 2 miles an hour quicker, so that part's nice. I guess I'm not going to be a purist. I'm not going to ride the C&O the whole way. I'm going to miss a section, but what can you do? I'll just flip it around so people can see what this rail trail looks like. Paved, obviously a perfect surface. Really nice. With some sleuthing, I was able to identify this nut. It's a hickory nut. I'll just toss it and hopefully we get a hickory tree right there. I'm back on the towpath. As you can see, it was about a 3-mile detour. It felt good to ride on the pavement. Got a bunch of miles in. So finally we are able to see the Potomac clearly. It's been blocked by trees most of this ride, but here's a nice opening. Looks like a very shallow river. Even out in the center, I can see the bottom from here. So I thought I would show what the leaves are doing on the trail this time of year. It's October 14th. You can see there's a lot of leaves on the trail, and you can see there's a lot of color up here, yet there's also a lot of green. So my conclusion is that the trees that are dropping pretty rapidly because the trail is pretty well covered. Off to my left and right is pretty well covered in leaves. If you're a leaf peeper and you want to hit this area of the country at peak, I would probably wait maybe 1 week, I would say. You can see there's a lot of color, but a lot of green in there too. Looks like a mixture of pre-peak and peak. That tree looks peak to me. Yeah, really shallow river, at least in this section. Let's see what it does up above. It's interesting, there's a little cliff here. It reminds me of the Pixies song, Wave of Mutilation, when he sings, drive my car into the ocean. I almost feel like Drive my bike into the Potomac. Take note of that. People might say there's water along this trail. There really isn't unless you have a filter. This is interesting, but something I've been trying to do while riding this trail is deep breathing. I've been that kind of thing for miles now, and the reason is these are the things you can't simulate when you get back home. When I get back home and watch this video of what I did on this tour, I can't sit there on my couch watching it and remember the tour and like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, when I'm sitting on my couch, the scent in the air, the feel in the air is not there. So I'm trying to take in all the air I can take in, breathe it out, and try to store it in memory. So when I get home, I can remember the intangibles. I can remember the quality of being out here. It's just something I like to do when I'm out on the bike. At mile 12, it's been a while since I showed a frontal view riding, an update of what it looks like. Really pretty. I'd say, you know, same thing as yesterday. Swamp is on the left, Potomac is on the right. Can't see the Potomac right now in this section, so you get a little bit of that intermittent Potomac here and there. Same with the swamp, it comes and it goes. What doesn't go is the beautiful trail, the trees lining the sides. That stays consistent. Now, am I loving day 2 as much as a question I've been asking myself? No. I'm a guy who likes variety, diversity. Am I enjoying it? Yeah. How much? Well, probably about 90% of yesterday. So there's been a little bit of decline from the euphoria of starting a trail. I feel like it's like relationships. When you start a new one, you're kind of euphoric. You're in that honeymoon phase with the girl, the guy, whatever you're into. I feel that way with trails. I was in the honeymoon phase with this trail yesterday. Now I'm in day 2 where the trail shows me what it's all about. And I have to decide, is this for me? Is this not for me? It is for me. I'm 90% into this, which is actually good for the honeymoon phase ending. I think that's also a lot like relationships. You know, I talk about relationships a lot. I'm very much into people. I always thought I was quiet and antisocial, but I realize I'm a person who really thrives off people and social activity and all types of relationships, not just romantic, friendships, any of it. They all have an arc to them. When you first meet, it's one way. A week later, it's another way. A month later, it's another way. A year later, it changes. 10 years later, it changes. So there's an arc to all of these things, and it's kind of how I'm viewing this trail. Mildly disenchanted with it. It's a little bumpy, as you can see, hurting my butt. I didn't wear padded shorts on this whole 335-mile trip, 350 miles, whatever it is. The reason I didn't do that is I have a Brooks saddle with 15,000 miles on it. It's well broken into my sit bones, and I didn't have a lot of packing space, so I made the decision not to do that. I'm not regretting it. My butt is mostly fine, but this is bumpy. So yeah, Potomac, very visible here. Check that out. So you can see what I mean. It kind of goes in and out, in and out. Visible, not visible trees. This is actually a lower density tree section. Yeah, I wouldn't plan on seeing the Potomac the whole way if you ride this trail. There might be areas up ahead I haven't seen where it opens up, but to this point, it's been mostly obfuscated by trees. Now, it looks like we have a structure coming up here. Let's see what this is. Okay, this looks like an old trestle for a train, or an old, is that an aquifer? What is this? I'm gonna stop here. Wow. So yeah, I don't know what this is, some kind of pillar. Then there's some ruins right here. Then up here, there's almost what looks like, man, what is that? I guess that's old train Old train tracks. Guess that would make it more like a trestle, but it doesn't really look like a trestle. It looks more like an aquifer. Anyone knows what that is? Let me know. I don't see any signage here. Okay, if I had only gone a few feet up the road, I would see it is a cement mill. So yeah, trestle, aquifer, being an idiot on the trail, just guessing at shit. But yeah, super cool. Old cement mill. Wow, and a few hundred feet up from that, check out this rocky outcrop here. Okay, I've never seen lily pads this big. Look at that. This is like the cauliflower you see growing up in Alaska. Just enormous. It's weird, I hit a bridge back there and my phone came off the gimbal. It actually almost went into the Potomac River. It was a close call. Anyway, this is just outside that town of Hancock we saw. I think it's pretty. We got the greenery here, we got the old canal, got some locks. It's always nice coming into and out of towns. The scenery always changes a bit. Then we're down into the woods again. Please no black walnuts, please no black walnuts. It's like that old game show, no whammies, no whammies. I'm filming one-handed. You hit a black walnut like that. Worst case, you go flying off your bike. Best case, you get terrified to death that you're gonna fly off your bike. Ask me how I know. All right, we're still in industry. You can hear the traffic in the background, the train to my right now. And you can see, well, maybe you can't see. Let's see if there's a break up here, but the Potomac River has now shifted to my left. So, seems like the swampy canal is gone. Wait, what is going on? The Potomac is on my right and my left? What's happening here? Okay, so I just stopped back there, sat on the bench for a while, had a little bit of, I guess you could call it lunch in quotes. It was more like some kind of peanut butter bar I picked up in a bike shop. It was actually quite good. I don't know, I wasn't necessarily hungry, but I'm 24 miles in and I just felt like I should eat. Unfortunately, there's this noisy highway off to my left. Outside of Hancock, there's a highway that follows you for a little while here. And probably should have waited a bit and went up the road, but I chose to eat right there because I saw a bench. It's really that simple. Saw a bench and I took it. I wasn't sure when the next bench would be. So there was some method to the madness. Just realized outside of Hancock, you're gonna experience a noise for about 9 miles. It's starting to get more quiet now. It's starting to get pretty again. Really easy riding too. It's like pretty much totally flat. Much easier than the Gap in terms of grade, surface. I think the surface here is slightly worse than the Gap, but it's not what I read about online. Online I read that parts get washed out with mud. I mean, we had rain. Surface is good. I was actually surprised. It's flat, it's an easy trail in that regard. It's a little bumpy. You know, we lost the swamp on the left, which I was finding interesting with the turtles. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to ride this trail? 65 miles, 70 miles of this type of terrain. I do. I'm looking forward to completing it. Got the bridge I just showed you that I'm going under. It's little details like that that add to the diversity of the trail and I think make it interesting. So pretty stoked to get that. Over here we're getting some water, and to the right there's farmland still, and it's actually opening up. Yeah, you can see the water on the left. That's different. It's not that swamp. Looks like some kind of freshwater lake over there. And I'll try to show you the right, but there's farmland over here. So that was a super cool moment back there. I'm just gonna put in a snapshot of what happened. We met with some of those people from the B&B. We had a chat here. There's a little section hitting peak, so we all stopped. And I just stopped to do my own work there, some photo work, and they caught up. They came up the trail and saw me there, and they stopped and they asked if I wanted a photo with them. I took a photo with them for posterity. We had a nice little talk there, and one of those women saw a porcupine further down the trail. I might piece that footage into the, she texted me the footage of the porcupine. I can't believe there's porcupine in Maryland, but I mean, it's there, it's on film, so they're here. They invited me out to dinner. Really nice, really nice. It's nice meeting people on the trail and bonding with these people. Those people, that group is so nice. They're calling me on a first name basis. The guys pat me on the back, like, just a really good crew right there. That's the type of people you love to meet on a trip like this. So yeah, a little patch back there hitting peak. It was magical. We all stopped. We all noticed the same thing, and we all stopped to enjoy it. And it's a magical moment on the trail. I doubt I'll be the fifth wheel, so I might join them if I see them. But if I don't, that's fine. I've been eating dinner sometimes alone, sometimes with people. It really depends on the night, the setting, the mood. I'm totally fine going out alone and eating dinner. I don't feel weird about it. So yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. Beautiful section here. It's interesting, there's no water on each side. I think this is the first time during this, what, I'm 70 miles in. First time I think I've seen no water on either side. I think that's what's making this section look a little unique. Yeah, this is really pretty. I like this. A lot drier feeling too. Oh, and the sun is finally coming out. I think this is the first time I've seen the sun in 2 days. And it's not quite out, but it's trying to come out, as you can see. Seeing some patches of peak here. Check this out. Got a headwind again. Seems to be the MO of the trip. There must be a easterly or something. There's prevailing winds. I guess I'm heading into one. Look, another tree here. Peak. You can see the wind in real time blowing leaves off it. I'm used to riding in peak. When I pick my rides, this is interesting. It's kind of like pre-peak mixed with peak. Saying the word peak a lot. And some post-peak with these naked trees in here too. Pretty fascinating. I don't know, this is really nice. Look at these scraggly trees. Kind of gnarly looking, right? And you can feel that when you're out here. You notice something has changed. I'm about 10 miles from Williamsport, I believe is the town I'm staying in tonight. I'm gonna say the highlight of this day was the people again. Like you saw those people just there. They invited me out to dinner. They gave me their number. There were two guys from Atlanta and Arizona, Jeff and I don't know, I forget. Honestly, I met so many people last night. I want to say there were 9 of us hanging out. I can't remember all the names, but they're all great. We either talked about exchanging numbers or exchanged numbers. Some of them asked what tour I was doing next. It's possible we could ride with I could ride with some of these people again. So I love that part of being out on bikes. On this trip so far, I think I got 5 numbers. So just really cool, really cool. Besides that, I really love this last section I showed you guys where there was finally no water on each side. Thought that was very interesting. I was enjoying the history again. Oh, big bump. Okay, like all the locks and all that part never really gets old. Every time I see one of those structures, it's interesting. I'll say there was a short section, I want to say it was 8 miles outside of Hancock. The road was to my left. I didn't love that section. The highway was pretty noisy. Right after that, we broke into farmland, broke into a lake on the side. The people came into play and the trail ended on a bang. And for that reason, I'm giving this day, I think, a 9 out of 10. This was a really fun day. I'm gonna go enjoy dinner with these people. I'm gonna go enjoy my last 8 miles without filming it. You know, if I see something really cool, I'll roll out the camera in hand and hand film. Definitely get out and ride this trail. I think day 2 was slightly, I didn't like it as much, but it's almost as good as day 1. And I think, oh cool, another lock. Let's end with this in the background. Just get out and ride the trail, yeah? Yeah. Look at that lock.